The world watched in disbelief as Michael Jeffries, once the celebrated CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, was taken into custody. The charges against him were shocking: sex trafficking and interstate prostitution. These accusations painted a disturbing picture, one that contrasted sharply with Jeffries' image as a fashion icon and business mogul. The arrest sent shockwaves through the fashion industry and beyond, raising questions about the dark side of power and the exploitation that can fester beneath a veneer of success. Jeffries' arrest was not entirely out of the blue. Whispers of misconduct had long followed him, and allegations of inappropriate behavior had surfaced over the years. But this time, the accusations were different. They were not merely whispers of impropriety, but serious criminal charges that could lead to a lengthy prison sentence. The arrest marked a dramatic fall from grace for Jeffries, who had once been credited with transforming Abercrombie & Fitch into a global fashion powerhouse. The charges against Jeffries centered on allegations that he had used his position of power to exploit young people seeking modeling opportunities. He was accused of luring them with promises of fame and fortune, only to coerce them into sexual acts. The allegations were deeply disturbing, suggesting a pattern of predatory behavior that had gone unchecked for years. The arrest raised questions about who knew what and when, and whether others within Abercrombie & Fitch had turned a blind eye to Jeffries' alleged misconduct. The news of Jeffries' arrest spread rapidly, dominating headlines and sparking conversations about power, exploitation, and accountability. It was a stark reminder that success and wealth are often no guarantee of moral integrity. The case promised to be a long and complicated one, with far-reaching implications for the fashion industry and beyond. It was a story about the abuse of power, the exploitation of vulnerable individuals, and the urgent need for justice. The charges against Michael Jeffries were not merely allegations of sexual misconduct. They were far more serious, striking at the heart of a deeply disturbing crime: sex trafficking. Prosecutors alleged that Jeffries had engaged in a pattern of behavior that was both calculated and cruel, preying on the aspirations of young people desperate to break into the modeling world. The alleged scheme, according to law enforcement officials, involved luring aspiring models, often from disadvantaged backgrounds, with promises of lucrative contracts and exposure to the industry's elite. These promises, however, were allegedly a smokescreen for a much darker reality. Prosecutors claimed that Jeffries used his position and influence to coerce these individuals into sexual acts, exploiting their vulnerability and desire for success. The details of the alleged sex trafficking operation were deeply unsettling. According to court documents and statements from law enforcement officials, Jeffries and his associates allegedly used a variety of tactics to control and exploit their victims. These tactics included providing them with drugs and alcohol, isolating them from their families and support systems, and subjecting them to emotional and psychological abuse. The allegations painted a picture of a calculated and sophisticated operation designed to entrap and exploit vulnerable individuals. The sex trafficking charges against Jeffries were particularly egregious given the nature of the alleged victims. These were not simply young people looking for work. They were aspiring models, individuals who often placed their trust in industry professionals like Jeffries. The charges highlighted the dark side of an industry often associated with glamour and beauty, revealing a world where exploitation and abuse can thrive beneath a veneer of sophistication. While the arrest of Michael Jeffries on sex trafficking charges sent shockwaves through the fashion industry, it also brought into sharp focus the troubled history of Abercrombie & Fitch, the company he once led. Jeffries' tenure as CEO from 1992 to 2014 was marked by both remarkable success and significant controversy. Under his leadership, the brand skyrocketed in popularity, becoming a cultural phenomenon synonymous with a certain type of aspirational all-American cool. However, Jeffries' vision for Abercrombie & Fitch was not without its critics. The company faced numerous accusations of promoting exclusivity and discrimination through its marketing and hiring practices. Jeffries himself made headlines for controversial comments about the brand's target audience, stating that Abercrombie & Fitch was for cool, good-looking people, and that a lot of people don't belong in our clothes and they can't belong. These statements drew widespread condemnation, with many accusing Jeffries and the brand of promoting unrealistic beauty standards and perpetuating harmful stereotypes. The allegations of sex trafficking against Jeffries cast a long shadow over Abercrombie and Fitch's legacy, raising questions about whether the company's culture had, in some way, enabled or facilitated his alleged behavior. The company was quick to distance itself from Jeffries, issuing statements emphasizing that he had not been associated with the brand since 2014. However, the arrest prompted calls for a deeper reckoning, with many demanding to know what, if anything, Abercrombie and Fitch knew about the allegations against Jeffries during his tenure, and what steps, if any, the company had taken to address them. The scandal surrounding Jeffries threatened to tarnish Abercrombie and Fitch's brand image, potentially alienating customers and investors. The company faced a significant challenge in navigating the fallout from the allegations, balancing the need to protect its business interests with the imperative to address its past and demonstrate a commitment to ethical conduct. Sure. Jeffries' legal team has issued a statement in response to the charges. They claim that the allegations are completely unfounded and that their client will be fully exonerated once all the facts come to light. The statement emphasizes that Jeffries has always maintained his innocence and looks forward to his day in court. In a shocking turn of events, multiple media investigations have uncovered a disturbing pattern of abuse linked to Jeffries. These reports suggest that the allegations are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader, more troubling history. As more victims come forward, the scope of the investigation continues to widen, painting a grim picture of systemic misconduct. As the company faces mounting scrutiny, it must confront its past actions. Years of overlooked complaints and ignored warnings are now coming to light. The leadership is in turmoil, grappling with the consequences of their inaction. Will they take responsibility or continue to evade the truth? The world watches closely. The stakes of this case are incredibly high. It's not just about one company or a few individuals, it's about the entire industry's integrity. The outcome could set a precedent for how future cases are handled. Victims are seeking justice, and the public demands accountability. The pressure is on, and the consequences could be far-reaching. Advocates are tirelessly fighting for the victims of sex trafficking. These brave individuals are working day and night to bring justice to those who have been exploited. It's a battle against a dark and pervasive issue, but they remain undeterred. Their efforts are a beacon of hope for many, showing that change is possible. Preventing future exploitation in the modeling industry is paramount. New regulations and stricter oversight are being proposed. Education and awareness campaigns are in full swing, aiming to protect the vulnerable. The goal is clear: to create a safer, more ethical industry for everyone involved. The journey is long, but the commitment to change is unwavering.